to Aspheric TV, and this is the morning newspaper briefing. My name is Double Gifts. This is the program where we bring you front pages of Nigerian dailies, and later in the show I get to discuss some of these issues with my guests. I'd start off with the Punch newspaper headline. It says here 20.52% inflation, economic crisis, job losses worsen, food prices soar. NACCIMA worries over rising prices, says companies face tougher times. Inflation spike will throw more Nigerians into poverty, says LCCI. Also, Nigeria-Morocco begin 5,600-kilometer gas pipeline project. FG suspends third airline as aviation crisis persists. Makinde Udom lead Atiku's 326-member campaign team. Vote president who won't compromise, Jonathan advises youths. Students block Ife-Ibadan road, ASU lists pending demands. Lagos impounds 4,694 Okada, convicts 1,490 offenders. Appointment of Supreme Court justices faulty, says Sands. The Vanguard newspaper says hardship as inflation rate hits 20.5%, highest since 2005. Food inflation rate stands at 23.1. NLC seeks costs of living allowance. Suspend new taxes, levies, NACA. Government policies fueling inflation. Naga presidents. PDP crisis, heavens won't fall if Ayu resigns today. Bode George, Bokno, Akirele say PDP risks losing 2023 polls if Ayu remains chairman. Atiku appoints Governor Udom campaign DG. Wike makes team. Insecurity, government has failed Nigerians, Catholic bishops. 2023, no place for rigging, Falai and Yakasai. Train attack, Mahmoud's arrest won't stop negotiations for abductees' release, says FG. The Daily Sun newspaper says more hardship for Nigerians as inflation rises to 20.52%. Buhari appoints Idiomu interim administrator, amnesty program. APC, PDP, LP fights as rating poll places Obi ahead Atiku Tinubu. It's dubious, says ruling opposition parties, Showore. Elects credible leaders, Jonathan charges Nigerians. 2023, keeping Ayu may cost PDP victory, Bode George warns. Says Southwest should produce next chairman. ASU gives conditions to end over 7-month industrial action. The Guardian newspaper says rising costs, supply chain disruptions worsen inflation. The Nation newspaper has it that Bode George, why Atiku may lose next year's poll. No justification for Ayu to remain in office. Tambua leads 326-man campaign council. Wike, Makinde, Dupesi, Imoke listed as members. Only concrete pacts courts can end strike, says ASU chair. Industrial court hears federal government suit today. Also on the Nation newspaper, Buhari governors Tinubu condole with Akeredolu over mom's death. Security Council recommends NAT force ban. 14 Britain, 4 Americans, 268 others get Nigerian citizenship. Nigeria to Morocco gas pipeline projects will create wealth. Those are the newspaper headlines we have. We'll go on a short break. When I return, I'll introduce my guests and we'll discuss some of these headlines with you. Please stay with us. welcome back. I have my guest with me in the studio, and he's Mr. Mustafa Abdul Malik. Good morning, sir, and welcome on the program.
Good morning, Gift.
So I think we should talk about what has been on the mouths of many Nigerians for a long time now. It has probably not made it to the papers so much, but today we see it in almost all of the newspapers, which is the rate of inflation, which stands at 20.5% as of today. This has caused, should I say, a lot of hardship basically for Nigerians, and then it is said to be the highest since 2005. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, we saw it coming because it's not something of, it's not new, just like you said. It's something that Nigerians has been battling with it for quite some time, and the only thing is that we keep on, we bear it, we tolerate it, and we keep on living with it. Each day you go to the market, the price changes, and as it changes, Nigerians adjust with the situation, which is not normal. No country just decide to just accept whatever is their fate and just move on with it like that. But that is our own case here. Virtually everything is rising. The cost of production is rising. Even the consumers too, they are paying through a lot of pain, but they have to bear it and they keep on going. And this thing is not like the making of the consumer. It's not the making of the consumer. It's the making of the policy makers, the government, and the people at in charge of the helms of affairs in Nigeria. They are responsible for the policies. They are responsible for virtually every economic aspect, but they have not done anything. Or if they have done, what they have been doing is not enough to like cushion the effect of this crisis. Well, based on the statistics released yesterday by National Bureau for Statistics, it says the inflation trend now has risen to 20.5%, almost 20.1%, almost 21%. So that is what it means now. So and on the year-to-year basis, it has risen to 23%. Well, it's really sad that we have come to this level. If you observe very well, you now see that a lot of things are responsible for it. In economy, in economics, we call it variables. Some of these variables are seen, and while some are unforeseen. The unforeseen, like a situation whereby you have this global crisis, whereby it's affecting the disruption in the supply chain, of which many countries are dealing with that too, including US and even Britain. But in our own case here, you discover that we have been suffering this economic problem even before the war in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, and even the global pandemic of COVID-19. So it's something that we have been dealing with since 2016, that Nigeria went into recession. To me, if you ask me, I will say since that time we have not really exited. We might have exited recession, but the recovery up to now we have not recovered because the cost of living keep on rising, cost of production keep on rising, and virtually everything keep on rising. Well, it's expected because at a situation whereby Nigeria as a consumer nation, virtually everything that we use here, we import them. You now discover that there is crisis in the forex. That is the dollar to naira the dollar keep on getting waxing stronger, whereas our naira keep on
is getting
weaker. And in a situation like that, you now discover that the producers, the manufacturers, our industries here are suffering. You understand? And where the policy makers have their own problem, you now discover that a situation whereby manufacturers, industries has produced, instead of them to get forex at an official rate from the CBN, they are not getting. They have to resort to alternative sources whereby they now pay through outrageous black market to get their forex and produce. They are crying. The consumers are crying. Almost everybody is crying. That is the situation when we find ourselves here today. And when you see that the manufacturing sector, they are suffering, it means they are shrinking. As they are shrinking, certainly they will lay off some of their labor, and when they lay off their labor, you now discover that unemployment rate keep on increasing. That is the situation we are dealing with today. And then the other aspect again, which is in economics, you call it that there is a linear relationship between consumer and the income. A situation whereby you are taking 100,000 naira per month, and the inflation now increased to 20 point something percent. It means that you are dipping your hand extra into your income to service the inflation, which in a situation like this, what will happen is that no more savings. You should expect that no more savings. And when there is no more savings, we're not talking about investment. And when we don't talk about investment, poverty is increasing. That is the situation we're dealing with today in Nigeria.
Hopefully it gets better so that
it cannot just get better just like that. A gift.
Exactly.
It gets better based on if Nigerians decide to do what is needful. Now 2023 is around the corner. We should be able to take into the candidate, discuss issues, let them lay their plans before Nigerians to say, okay, this is what I will do. It's not something of sentiment. In fact, if we are talking about sentiment, we keep on having this same result on and on.
It is in that vein that former President Goodluck Jonathan has advised youths and Nigerians in general to vote for credible leaders in the upcoming elections. And then also yesterday, some results of polls came out literally, and then Peter Obi was leading. Yeah. If elections were to hold yesterday, Peter Obi would have been the winner. And then this has brought up some, I don't know the right word to use basically, but it has brought up some reactions in the minds of a lot of people. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, opinion poll is like sampling, whereby you go to the street, you ask this person, depend on the respondent. Probably the respondent that the interviewers ask, that it's an independent commission body that decided to embark on that opinion poll. It's an online opinion poll, whereby they came with their result based on that. Well, the opposition, both the opposition and all other political parties that are jostling for a place in the 2023 election, that is among the presidential candidates, they shouldn't take it the way, they shouldn't react the way they are doing, because the election is still like 5 months or 6 months ahead. So what it means is that if you have weaknesses in one particular area, you work on it. Basically. It's like a wake-up call for the political parties, including Peter Obi himself. I don't think that Peter Obi will just take that because it's an online poll. Because online poll, there is variation between the online and the real thing. So I don't think that Peter Obi himself will not just laugh and just take it like that and look and know how about. He's not gonna do that. And then the Tinubu, Atiku, and Konkoso, and the other ones that are just living for it too, they should not take it as if it's although in a political era, use every opportunity to intimidate your opponent, and that is exactly what this opinion poll point at. We now discover that the other contenders are now in disarray, and then they are talking. But far from that, they should go into the distance and lay on the table their plan before Nigerians. They should be able to discuss issues. We are tired of going through this pain. If you observe since 1999 that we step into this fourth democracy, you now discover that we keep on. It's either we are rigmaroling or we are like repackaging and not. This is not what we expect. Nigeria doesn't have any reason to live within that poverty as we are today living.
Moving on to the PDP, apparently their unending crisis about the removal of the party chairman is still on. And then Bode George has advised that removal of Ayu is not going to kill anybody, literally, basically. And then I don't know, I want to get your thoughts on this, because this has been an issue that has been ongoing for a while, to let the party chairman go or not to let the party chairman go. But Bode George has laid out reasons today in the papers why Ayu should go, and then how it will affect the presidential candidate of the PDP, saying he might lose the election if Ayu stays as chairman.
Well, the fact is that if you look at it from the arguments all along, it's about equity, because we cannot have the presidential candidate coming from the north and Iyorchia Ayu too coming from the north, the chairman of the party coming from the north too. That is the basis of the argument. And then for equity, I believe that the party has been able to give some concession. you now see that the chairman of the BOT chairman relinquished his position, and then now we have someone from the southeast who is the BOT chairman, and then also one way the chairman of the forum of the governors of PDP, he also relinquished his own, and then we now have Makinde as the seat. But yet all these are just minor positions. The main position is the chairman of the party. I believe that there are so many things that they will not put on the table for everyone to see. Behind the scene, they will be talking about it. You know, this in politicians, they have a way of doing things. Let me give you some details. In 2019, during the electioneering campaign, Atiku made Benga Daniel as his campaign DG. Do you know, if you could observe very well, during that period, there was this allegation of Dubai strategy, whereby APC keep on making reference to it, and of which, prior to the election, the Chief Justice of the Nigeria, then Justice Ononge, was removed by President Buhari. And based on a rumor, they said Ononge was at a meeting in Dubai with Atiku. Then, shortly after the election, we now saw defection of chairman of campaign DG of Atiku, which is Benga Daniel. It means all along, throughout the campaign period, he was like having some fraternizing with APC behind the scene. So that is what it means. And this is what politicians are very good at doing. During the day, they are with you. At night, they are somewhere else. So I believe that probably the presidential candidate of PDP probably is like holding back on the removal of Ayu. And also, probably because he has seen some certain element insincerity on the people calling for his removal. Because there are so many ways of doing this thing. By the time you remove the chairman of the party, few months to the election, it means a lot of things will be disrupted. And when it's being disrupted, it means the party will be weakened. And when the party is weakened, the chances of the party clinching this, it will also diminish. That is what it means. But as it is today, there's no, I don't think Atiku would holding on to Iyorchia Ayu to say, look, Iyorchia Ayu should remain in office, should remain as a party chairman. I don't think he has any justification to do that, because in a campaign, a chieftain of a party from a particular state or from a particular zone, you are going to tell your people that, look, this is the stake, this is your stake within the party. What are they going to tell their people within the party to say, okay, we don't have chairman, we don't have presidential candidate, we don't have anything, and they are saying that, look, we should go and support this party? What are they going to hold on to? Take, for instance, like Bode George. How is he going to campaign and convince his people that, look, vote for Atiku? Whereas they have Tinubu, who is from the southwest west zone too. But if the situation whereby they decide to like Iyorchia Ayu, remove him from the office there, and he's no more there again, and the party chairman is coming from the southwest, you now discover that they have something to tell their people to say, look, we are the party chairman, we'll make sure that we negotiate. If we eventually will win, we'll negotiate for teams, positions that will come to the zone. But as it is today, they don't have anything to tell, and that is exactly what he's saying, that look, the party as it is being constituted today is not positioned for success, but is positioned for a failure. That is what Olabode George is just saying.
The PDP has also chosen members for its campaign team, with Makinde and then Udom leading the team. And then, interestingly, Governor Wike of Rivers State made it to the team. He's part of the members of the team.
Well, they will still do, you understand, Wike has become like a bone. You understand, when you are eating a fish and it is also the bone and
bone in the neck.
That is exactly the position of Wike, and they cannot just decide to ignore him to say just like that, because he's a governor. He's one governor that wielded so much power. He wielded so much influence among his colleague governors. So if they didn't include him, it's better they include him so that he himself will come out to say, look, I don't want this position. That is exactly
that
what
will completely let him out of it. Also, recall that the ASU and then the federal government's issue has been going on for a while, and then we saw that the federal government took the matter to the industrial court, and today happens to be the hearing. So we'll wait for that. But while that is going on, students are still protesting in certain areas, especially in Ibadan, and they've blocked ways, roads, and things like that. And then the ASU has still laid down their demands for the federal government to either follow or they keep on with the strike. What are your thoughts on this? And then the issue of the federal government taking the issue to the courts. Do you think that is the right move, or to just settle the ASU once and for all?
Well, let me start from reacting to the issue of federal government dragging ASU to court. I don't think that is the best. It's not the best process. It's not the best step so far, because the victory, they can secure that victory at the end of the day and compel ASU to go back to the class. What if they go back to the class, then succeed for now? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months again. The same issues now resurface again. I don't think dragging them before the industrial court is the best option. It's not the best option. To me, the agreement that they are talking about today is not like a fresh agreement, although there are some addition to that. It's something that the government, if they are sincere enough, I don't think that ASU will be adamant on or insisting on continuing with the strike. Well, from the government side and the ASU side, the most thing that is their gray area right now is the issue of paying them for the period they have been on strike, of which the government is saying that, look, they are not going to pay. But the question is this: without being on strike, the government has already made budget for their salaries covered within this period. So why are they holding back? If it is something, in fact, we should look beyond that. You now decide to see that the students are at home suffering. Now they will wait until the student now decide to now take laws into their hand and start blocking every highway,
which they have started.
Which they have already started from Lagos. Although I heard the Minister of Works coming out that, look, that is unlawful. That is unlawful for the student to block the highway. That the highway belongs to everybody. That is, the situation now is that the students are trying to take laws into their hand.
They are aggrieved.
They are aggrieved. They have been at home for the past 6 or 7 months now.
7 months.
And they are at home, and they are not seeing any headway out of the problem. And that is why they decided to take the bull by the horn in this situation now. Government is trying to create anarchy, using its own hand to create anarchy. You recall that the experience we had from the NSAS up till now, some certain areas, states and individuals, they have not fully recovered from that experience. So government should not create that scenario in this ASU crisis again. They should be able to resolve this problem so that ASU will go back to the classes and the student will go back to the classes too. Already almost one session. I think a session is 9 months, but now we're in the 7th month. It means that a complete session has been wasted just like that.
And the more both parties remain adamant, the longer the strike
prolongs, and it can drag to another session again. When it drags to another session, it means the student losing 2 years. Understand? And as it is now, if ASU succeed at the end of the day, what their salaries that have not been paid, they will pay them. But the loser in this case are the student, their parent, and whoever is paying their sponsors.
Exactly. Let's hope all of these issues are resolved in good time.
It has to be resolved.
That's the news we'll be taking this morning. Thanks for joining us. My name is Double Gifts, and I've had Mr. Mustafa Abdul Malik with me. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Aspheric TV on YouTube, and also follow us on all of our social media platforms. On Instagram and Twitter, we are Aspheric News, and on Facebook, we are official Aspheric News. Thanks for watching. Bye. Thank you.